Welcome to the Daily Gerry Anderson podcast, which today dips a toe into the nautical world. To the casual listeners, it would seem that these people have the facts at their fingertips. They would, of course, be wildly wrong. Let me just say that the people that the Mayor of Derry has, stroke Londonderry, has asked you to accompany him on his first journey across the bridge. So you'll be flashed all over the world.
Yes.
And no mention was made of my name.
No.
I was a little upset. I lay in bed and I tossed and turned last night thinking about the gravity and indeed the seriousness of that snub. And I may resign. From the bridge.
Okay. Talking of bridge.
I may never use it.
Talking of bridge, I was dreaming about you last night.
Oh, matron.
You and I were on a boat.
Oh, that's not the
Talking
first time
of
that
bridge.
happened. Yeah.
Yes. And we were arguing.
Nothing unusual about that. We've argued in boats before.
And I was asking you for some information, but you wouldn't tell me. And you were busy going round the ship on your bicycle.
Obviously, a big boat.
Yes. And all I wanted to know was which side was port and which side was starboard, and you wouldn't tell me. Work it out yourself, he says.
Port is left.
See, I thought port was right.
No, see, larboard used to be right.
See, I thought it was port was...
No, starboard is right, but larboard used to be left.
Yeah, but, no,
if you read any of the old 18th century sailing novels, Patrick O'Brien and the likes, a man will always shout, larboard! Starboard! Larboard! Starboard used to be left, and starboard was right. And guess what happened?
What?
Sometimes people have made mistakes.
Right.
Because the guy would go, was that starboard? Right. No! So they decided to call larboard port, and they kept starboard.
Well, has it nothing to do with the tying up of the boat? What side they tie her up to?
No, port is just left.
The port side.
Well, I don't know. I don't know, really. They wanted a word that didn't sound like starboard.
But I thought when a boat came in to the harbour, no, it was driving in. You know,
not the driving.
No, it drove in.
Sailing in.
Aye, it drove in and it parked on the right-hand side, with its nose facing up towards the town clock.
Well, it all depends where the harbour is. All depends what way the man wants to point his nose. All depends where the river is. Depends on many things. You can't just have the one side of the boat that parks beside the jetty. You have to be flexible. The two sides maybe.
I was just wondering, well, how did they arrive at port?
The problem is, just boys, look, you see when the boy shouts larboard, it sounds way like starboard, boys. You know what I'm thinking there? Why don't we just say left and right? No, but you can't do that because starboard's good sound. I like the sound of starboard, not like Starbuck. Remember in the movie, the novel, should I say, by Herman Melville, Moby Dick, the great. Put the dog down, Davy.
Well, do you see when you were in R.A. Burke?
Moby Dick, there was a character in that called Starbuck, and they named the Caffey after him.
I know all about
Remember the one that you were sacked in? The presenter is no stranger to glittering dues, which he attends only if he is being paid handsomely. However, humiliation often lurks not far away. Do you know the people who invite you to these things, come to this opening, come to that, come to that, come to that? I never go to anything. The only things I ever go to is somebody who said to me, listen, do you want to go to this? We'll give you a whole lot of money. And I'd say, certainly I'll go.
That's a lie.
When did I ever go to anything that didn't give me money for?
Well, I'm thinking something.
Go on.
Well, let me think.
Any situation whereby you just go to get your photograph in the paper. You never see my photograph in the paper. You never see me doing stuff to you? Never.
They photograph the other people. They don't bother about you.
That's not true. The reason I'm not there is because I'm not there. Right? Oh. If I was there, they'd want me.
Would they?
The only time they ever...
Yes,
the worst thing that ever happened to me... No. The worst thing that ever happened to me, I think... No, there are two things, bad things ever happened to me concerning photographers. I'll tell you. I know I told you the first one about Buckingham Palace. Mm-hmm. I won't tell you that again. But the next thing that happened to me was there was a fashion do, in the Merchant Hotel. You know, the one that you thought was too dark? Mm-hmm. The hotel, you didn't like it.
The beds were too high.
I know. Anyway, there was a do in there, and I was presenting the do with Zoe Salmon. Yeah. Zoe Salmon, who's a lovely girl, and I really like her. Yeah. And we had the usual thing. You see, what you do is you arrive there, and you go in, and we sniffed out the bar. Yeah. Then a boy comes over and says, right, come down the back, and we'll put you in the car, and we'll let on you're arriving. Mm-hmm. So you go into the car at the back of the building, you see. Mm-hmm. Then they drive round the lane, and then you arrive at the front of the building where the red carpet is for all the photographers, right? So I'm sitting beside Zoe Salmon, and she is beautiful. And I'm sitting there and going, this is great. So the fellow opens the door, and I walk out, and I stand, and I put my arm out. Mm-hmm. Zoe puts her arm. And we walk, and we stand on the red carpet. And the people say, could you stand away over to the left there? We just want to get one of Zoe on her own. Could you stand over on the left there? Could you just for a minute there? I said to myself, it's only for a minute. So I went over and I stayed on the left, and they never asked me to go back again. I mean, I was able to handle that. I was able to take it, you know.
Well, you're only
Melissa
telling us
Mann wouldn't have been
about
able.
it now.
I can name you people that wouldn't have done that, who would have just caused a row. But the reason why they didn't want me is because they thought I was too old.
Too old?
I think so. Some of the callers to this programme have been driven to distraction by what comes before, namely Nolan. Witness this man almost gibbering with rage. But I understand that you can't take any more. You've heard too much. Life has turned you that way.
My head's astray.
I know. I can tell. You're just a hair away from professional help. I mean, I was going to stop you at the beginning, and I was going to say to you, what is that strange chittering sound there? What is that? Are you doing that?
No, me. I'm not doing that.
What is that kind of echo thing?
Maybe it's my wireless. Will I turn it off? Well, is that turned off now?
Oh, yes, would you?
I've got new plates put in there at Christmas time too, and they're jumping about a bit as well. And with me being all annoyed about this whole thing, I'm not just myself, you know. I'm not feeling myself at all.
You're like a man whose teeth might fall out. You're so angry.
Well, I've got new glue. I've got new glue to put them in there to paste them up, but they keep dropping. And that wee man from Strabane, he's dead too. God rest him.
Hugo? Has Hugo been killed?
Mr. Cunningham.
Oh, sorry.
No. If it was Hugo, it would be morning. The black bin pipes out everywhere.
George Cunningham.
That wee man, that decent wee man there. Couple of people, Strabane, I can't get a job. They're going over to Liverpool for the try and get a job, and I can't get a job at all. So trouble altogether.
Now, the key to George, God rest him, is that he always said Strabane. You get to work at Strabane. You get to work at Strabane. You get to work at Strabane. You get to Strabane. You get to Strabane. You get to Strabane. You get to Strabane.
Can't get a job anywhere. I have to go over and live there. The people over and live there. They don't want the people that's going over to Strabane near at all.
Very good.
I think
Very good.
Both of you are just a step away from help.
The presenter seems to be falling apart. Note his hysterical talk, wild flashes of fantasy, sudden uncalled-for laughter, irrational thought processes. Can the straitjacket be far away? Did you see the one about the world's fattest man? World's fattest man last night, as I suspected. He was spoiled rotten by his mother. He even got her to remortgage her house to buy £10,000 worth of food. Is that what Nolan did? No, that's a cruel, cruel thing to say. And here's a man who wants to settle an argument. Last night in the pub, we had a heated argument about the resting place of Gabby Hayes. Some say he is buried in Boot Hill, others say Tombstone City. So that's the same place. So Tombstone is Boot Hill. Tombstone's the graveyard is Boot Hill. And I've been in Boot Hill, and Gabby Hayes is not buried there. Another gentleman said that Roy Rogers got Gabby Hayes stuffed when he died and kept him in the corner of his house beside the piano. I don't think he did that. Do you think that's possible?
Yeah.
I must agree with your appraisal of the Stephen Boyd documentary. I did learn, though, that he died on my 12th birthday, says John Butcher, for no reason at all. And there's a man wants you muzzled.
Why?
I don't know. He just says muzzle coil. Maybe strange. He may be saying muzzle toft.
No.
Maybe some kind of Jewish celebration. Muzzle coil. He lifts a drink and say muzzle coil. Muzzle toft.
There's a man on one.
Slancha.
Apparently you were off air this morning.
Was I?
Apparently so.
I hope it was sometime when I wasn't talking about anything.
But you think Ken would let you know?
No, he doesn't care. As long as he gets his money at the end of the week, he doesn't care what goes out. Where was he? I haven't seen the little boy.
Oh, he was in this morning.
Is he?
He was in there, yeah.
I saw him yesterday, and he had a heavy step.
Yeah.
And he seemed down. His shoulders were slumped. And he was wearing the big coat he wears when he's depressed. And he's walking along. I thought his footfall was heavy.
He was in here this morning. He was looking very tired.
I think he might be drinking. What do you
so?
think? I wouldn't want to accuse him of that, but I wonder, is everything all right at home?
Wayne's on one.
What Wayne? To be good to Wayne. I love you, bitchy Wayne. Coilus Interruptus has developed an unappealing habit of stealing things that he already owns. It's a worrying development. It must be stamped out. Can you please tell me the treatment you buy for your neck? I can't tell you. What's the name of that album you played? Sorry, who is this?
Not me.
Sorry. What is the name of the album you played Elvis tracks from? Did you steal that back yesterday? Did you take that from my desk yesterday, did you?
Oh, well, let's...
Viva Elvis.
Well...
Did you?
what you're saying is, did I take it back? Did I steal it back? Is what
Yes.
you said
The other
originally?
person has hung up.
I was going back to him, you know.
Yes.
Did you steal that yesterday?
Yeah, the CD that I own, that you borrowed from me, you're
Yes.
asking me, did I steal it back from you?
Yeah, did you
I
steal it
steal
back?
my own CD?
Did you steal it back?
Oh, Emma gave it back to me.
Did she?
Yes.
She has no right to do that.
That's my CD.
It doesn't
I
matter.
wanted to play it in the wee show.
Well, where is it now?
It's probably...
Do you know exactly where it is? Would Emma get it for me now?
No, I have it locked away.
You have it locked away?
But I could get it.
Well, is it some kind of plague bacillus?
Oh, I put all my CDs in the one basket.
Oh, you never do that.
And they're locked
Never
away.
do that.
Yes.
I know you're saying no to me when I'm asking
do
you to
you
get
want
that.
it?
Yes.
What's I'm asking you?
Yes, please.
All right.
Will you get
Will I
bet
get
you,
it now?
Bet you don't. Yeah,
Oh,
bet
will I
you
get it
don't.
now?
Bet you don't.
I'll leave now.
All right, then leave now.
Right.
Thank you for listening. Back tomorrow.